Welcome back to First Edition. February is Psychology Month in Canada, and here in Newfoundland and Labrador, the theme this year is What is a Psychologist? Well, here to tell us more about it is our clinical child psychologist, Dr. Janine Hubbard. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good evening and happy Psychology Month.
Happy Psychology Month. So, how does someone become a psychologist?
Unfortunately, it means they need to go to school for a long time. What is typically involved is a four-year honors undergrad and then some combination of a master's degree and or a doctorate degree. So in my case, I was 4 years undergrad, 2 years master's, 6 years doctorate, and then there's a year of clinical residency, and then there's 1 to 2 years of supervised practice and a 2-part licensing exam. So I was 13 years total. We're trying to reduce that so that most of the doctoral programs no longer require a master's degree. So you're looking at about 8-9 years of training.
Okay, so when it comes to a psychologist, do I need a referral from my family doctor to see a psychologist?
You don't. Certainly within the outpatient mental health clinics across this province, you can self-refer. Within private psychologists, you can self-refer. A few of the insurance plans still require a referral in order to claim through your private insurance plan, but even that is reducing because we're trying as best we can to open up access so that as many people are able to see a psychologist with as few barriers as possible.
So how do I find one?
Really great question. You can certainly call the central intake numbers, and you can find those on the Bridge the Gap website, or if you go to apnl.ca, there's a Find a Psychologist function where you can search for all of the private psychologists in the province, as well as numbers for all the central intake numbers for each of the regions.
So we have about a minute left, and I thought while I have you here, I'm going to ask you the question. So do you think it's time we have a government department dedicated entirely to mental health?
I think the time has come, and it feels ironic because we've spent years arguing about the idea of all health includes mental health, and it still does. But what we're realizing is all of society encompasses mental health. It includes education, it includes seniors, it includes daycares, it includes business. So I think we have seen a decrease in stigma. We've seen a surge in needs throughout the pandemic. I think we've got the perfect storm that it's time to start talking about it.
Dr. Janine Hubbard, thank you so much for coming in. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so much.